My question is, what does Anthropic believe is the right balance between government regulation and AI innovation? And what do you wish governments around the world were doing differently?
Great question. So I think this is an area where I think the conversation about it has been, sadly, as sort of is the case, I think today, just in the sort of political climate, it's like hard to have a nuanced discussion. And I think that's a shame because I think it is a really nuanced question. I think sensible regulation will need to be part of the story for artificial intelligence, right? It's a very different technology than any other technology that's ever been built before. And even the last generation of technologies probably could have benefited from slightly more regulation, in my personal opinion. That being said, we're not blind to the fact that you need to have some room to maneuver as a company to be able to try things if you want to come up with the next generation of incredible products that people want to use and that are adopted. And I think this is one of these things that my actual most kind of critical hope for the conversation is that it doesn't become politicized, which I fear it already has, right? It's sort of regulation bad, innovation good, or innovation bad, regulation good. I think it's just really complicated. I think there are areas of regulation that just don't make a lot of sense. And then I think there are areas of regulation that are absolutely critical to make the technology be developed in a way that is good for people and that will prevent bad things from happening to the people that rely on it every day and to the broader world. My hope is that in an ideal world, what that would look like is technology companies and regulators working hand in hand, because we have the information about how the technology can be abused because we see it every day, right? We have safeguards teams and security teams that look at how are people poking on this and what are the actual risks. But regulators know how to provide a framework and a system that can actually be followed and enforced. And so maybe it's overly optimistic, but I still hold out hope that future is possible, where I think the two sides can find common ground and say, how do we ensure that we're able to develop the next, amazing technology that doesn't even exist yet, or the next company that's going to be whatever, the next Google or the next Meta, but that we just put some common sense regulations in place that help protect people.